Sadhvi ji, in your work or your role in the ashram, also as a sadhvi, you also do a lot of counseling because you're a life guide. You interact with a range of people who come to you, like you mentioned, right? You also have the os.me online community, a hotline which you run for people in distress.
Right.
So my question is, in your many encounters, I wouldn't want to call them encounters, but experience working with people, what did you identify as the core areas of stress and conflict? What do you think is affecting people today? I know that it could be all kinds of things, but what have you identified as, I think this is what's the problem with people, not with people, but that's what's bothering them or causing them to be in a state of distress or disharmony?
So, underneath every issue, which are quite common, there are a few which run across, the major problem that I feel personally is that there is a big disconnect, that we don't really know what do we want from life. We have an idea that has been instilled in us since our childhood and upbringing, that this is how we see life, that you need to have a successful career, you need to have a good family, you need to have relationships.
Right.
And so just with that idea, everyone's running with that idea. So the disconnect. And let me give you another thing. It's like even the most successful people today, you can have a great home, you can have money, you can have people looking up to you, but everyone feels a little dissatisfied. There is dissatisfied.
Yes, of course.
There is this festering discontentment, that at the end of the day, when it's night, when you're going to bed, you have everything, but there is no peace for some reason. And even if it's there, it lasts only so long. So the problem is that divine connection is missing. We can never be whole. We can never, ever be whole unless we are connected to the divine. And I know, when I used to earlier in my previous life, when I used to read these books, and there would be these lines would be there, that when you connect to the divine, when you think of God and all of those things, that it makes you whole, it makes you complete. It just sounded like mumbo jumbo. You didn't know. How could that possibly be?
How is that possible? And big deal. You like probably just shrug your shoulders and say,
and what does it even mean? What does it even mean? This bliss that they talk about, what does it even mean? But today I am short of words. I am short of words to say that. So, and another theory that I have is that if at the beginning, it's a very practical, because my guru is a very practical person and he works extremely hard, like 20 hours a day still. So in that practical outlook that he has, I found that discipline and hard work. So every single day, if you begin your day with either your meditation or your daily puja, it centers you. The very act of calling out to the divine, meditating on his form, chanting the mantra, it centers you. If your day begins at that note where you're centered, you're anchored, the rest of your day will go beautifully. And life is but this amalgamation of moments, of days become months and months become years. So that small unit, that morning, that one thing in the morning can change your life.
True, very true. And I mean, even simple things, just lighting, make sure that you have your diya lit every day and you just join your hands in prayer. I mean, it's only going to take you that far. I mean, you can't experience the kind of bliss that you or Om Swami ji experienced, but even that, like you rightly said, is can make a lot of, and I have through personal experience, I have experienced that. The day I meditate, or the day I do very basic, not even intense, or I do a little chanting, or I, just whatever stotras I know, I read out. I don't know if anything happens to me differently, but I experience a certain inner peace through the day. And the day I don't do it, the hustle bustle of daily life gets to me, So it's you can feel like you said, it makes you more centered. So absolutely.
Pujaji, that is the secret. You can talk about 100 things and and make it very complicated. My guru says simplicity is the heart of spirituality. A simple practice in the morning. I mean, look at in our ancient times, all the Vedic worship is around this.
Correct.
You have to begin your day like that, and that's what we are all going back to now. Sooner or later, life is so powerful, it brings you to your knees.
Right.
And
Right.
then you will light the diya and you will fold your hands.
Yes.
Yes.
But there are people though, I mean, there are many people who still deny it. There are many naysayers who will still, even though they go through the, the knocks of life, they will continue to deny that there is something that is beyond, there is something that needs to be harnessed beyond the material world. So there are those kind of people also, but I guess it takes all kinds to make up this world.
But today's world is like that, there is only so much that was passed on to us from our parents, and there is so little that we can pass on to the future generations. So if people are denying it because they don't know any better, I don't think my life would have been any different had I not found my guru. So and not started working on his teachings and not taken them seriously. We can have a guru, we can have all the best guidance available to us, wisdom. I mean, there are thousands and thousands of self-help and a whole lot of books and Upanishads and Vedas sitting there. But is anybody reading them? Are they actually doing something about it? That's not happening.
Correct.
Siddhashrama, the mystical hidden land of balance and harmony. Awakened and powerful sages of the yore lived in this divine region. Their chants, resonating throughout the Himalayas, brought untold peace upon humanity. Gods and creatures of the wild thrived and roamed about freely. And then the Dark Age descended, bringing with it war, diseases, and immorality. Forced by external invasions and sins, we abandoned our culture and became soulless slaves to machines and materialism, blindly slogging away to build this prison of madness. Not anymore. I invite you to experience the ancient world of Vedic glory. The sacred land of Siddhashrama awaits you once again. Be guided by the Vedas, awaken the mantra of your choice, and start your spiritual journey. Chant mantras, anoint the deities, do fire offerings to reach the highest summit of consciousness. I'll be waiting for you. Come, let's go back to our roots and do sadhana.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.